Clone Drone in the Hyperdome is a fantastic game. Hints of Compound, hints of classic Doom. And for the first time, I was immediately drawn into the swordplay. It's got arms, and I don't care. It's such a fun game.
Clone Drone in the Hyperdome!
Reading from the website, it says sword fight with killer... Wait, sorry. Sword fight with killer robots in VR. Watch as limbs fly off from a single cut of your energy blade. You are Blink, a teleporting robot who is the newest loop runner gladiator to compete in the Crash Loop, a deadly roguelite tournament to the death. Die and reawaken in an endless loop. Leap over lava pools, avoid turret fire, and take down the waves of enemy defendroids. Battle your fellow loop runners for a chance to fight the captain in the Hyperdome. In between runs, get to know the other loop runners and learn the secrets of Crash Loop. Take sides in their rivalries. Let your sword do the talking to win their favor. Defeat other loop runners to claim their turbo fists. Shoot flames, launch shurikens, slow time, summon zombies, and more. Upgrade the turbo fists with power from other defeated loop runners to become unstoppable. And that's not everything. Like, I was recently playing with a bow and arrow, which is kind of hit and miss, so to speak. And that really is my favorite weapon in this entire game so far. It's also the most ineffective weapon there is. The distance at which it can fly is a bit diminished, and you got to get a headshot for it to be worth anything. But just pulling that back in the limitless ammo, it's a fantastic device. And I'd mentioned at the top that it feels a lot like Compound. It does. It's got the same voxel 90s aesthetic design that, looking at it here, it probably looks underwhelming. But just like in Compound, in the headset, it really pays off. It looks really good. And as far as I can tell, it looks quite similar to the PCVR version. But that said, the MetaQuest version of this does struggle a little bit, especially in between games, launching and loading. If you wave your hand around, there is some glitching and some stuttering. But once you're in the game and you're fighting, it's a pretty fluid experience. And so while it's kind of like Compound and you know, games that came before it like Doom and Duke Nukem in that sense, it's also got a bit of teardown in the sense that when you have your sword or whatever you're fighting with, the axe, anything you hit, it kind of dissolves away and cuts through it with its almost weld cutting kind of aesthetic. Jumping in real quick to tell you that down below I have a link to this game that will save you 10% off, sometimes 20% depending on the time of the year. Also down there, I just built a website. You'll find every game I have access to, and you'll find a link where you can request games. If there's a game you really want and it's not on that list and you want to save that money, click that link, get at me, and I'll fix it. So I hope you visit that website. I hope you like this video and subscribe. Back to it. The friction you feel from the swords is very pleasing. Whether it's your two swords together and you're clanging them together or kind of come up from beneath and block it, that feels great. The resistance feels good. And there's also a thing where I don't know if this gets harder the further you go, but right now it's appreciated. And that's that when an enemy is approaching you, he does the thing where he pulls back like he's going to swing his sword at you, but it kind of overstays its welcome. He does it for a little bit longer than I think he should, and that gives you the opportunity to get in there and expertly cut his head off, which is a satisfying maneuver. Whether you cut him at the legs, the knees, the head, wherever you cut, it slices through it, and the top half of that body will just slump off. And this aspect of the game is phenomenal in my opinion. It makes it kind of a ragdoll sandbox experience that is just easy to get into. It's easy to have fun with. If you're walking along and you find a weapon on the ground that you want to upgrade to, whether it's because you killed somebody or it's just waiting for you, you can drop whatever you have and then pick that up. You're not tied to anything. And if you die, which is going to happen at times, if someone's coming at you with a bow and arrow, it's a pretty effective weapon. It's hilarious at how many times I died at the hands of someone with a bow and arrow. But when you die, they send you to this kind of lobby where you can, if you're playing multiplayer, which you can, you have a chance over there to talk with others around you, whether you're talking to them or the bots, and then you can pick which elevator you want to take to go to that respective level. And once you get onto that level, you'll be empty-handed to begin with. And then there's this funk, a sword just kind of slaps into the ground in front of you, which is a very cool aesthetic. It feels fantastic. Pick it up and you're good to go. If and when you acquire the Turbo Fist, then that's just a simple maneuver where you pull the trigger and it kind of thrusts outward this cone of energy that just kind of eviscerates and throws back anyone within striking distance of it. And it's a cool feature, but again, it's not something that you have forever. This game is all about collecting, killing other opponents, taking their stuff, upgrading, and then knowing that if you die, you're starting over. And so for me, this game has been fantastic. It feels amazing. I love the aesthetic. I love everything about it. I love that I have a body in it. I'm changing. I'm a real boy now. It's a minimalist type situation where the arms, they don't match your arms. I've said it before, but I don't care. They move in such a way that it feels good and it feels right, and the body doesn't protrude outward too much. All in all, I think these guys did a fantastic job, and if you haven't played it, you should. Now, I'm glad you guys have been here. Please subscribe and like this video. It does my channel a world of good. It would mean a lot to me. And down below, you'll find a link to this game where you can save 10% off. And that is thanks to the fact that I am part of the Meta Creators Program. Also down there, I have a website that I just put together. And there you'll find all of the available discounts that I have at my disposal, whether it's Quest Cash for buying a Meta Quest headset or a list of every single game I have access to that will get you between 10 and 20% off depending on the time of year. Now, the games on that list are not the only games I have. I'm still building it, but if you go there, you'll find a link where you can send me requests for games that you want, and I will do my best to add them quickly. It's a great way to save some money, and it supports my channel. Thank you for being here. You guys are amazing. Please like this video, subscribe, all that jazz. I'm going to be at CES on the 7th and 8th. If you see me there, say hi, and Godspeed.